Yeah, really. They became very successful in America.
Yeah, my cousin was one of them.
Really? The trade gang?
Yeah, he was. No, they call it trade dudes.
Yeah. The triple trade. Follow the spirit in the one.
The guy who ran him, he just died last year.
Bro, you're online. Just check when the people come online here.
Oh.
Okay.
And then you can go ahead with your story.
Connections. There we go.
So start talking.
Hey, you have to greet them. Sammy family.
Sammy, Kembo Kima, Tanzania, Mazulu, King Fumu, Kyako Isa. This is Brother Trey, with Brother Mikhael Massa, Brother Wadey. And here in Angola, made the trip for the Beulah destination. It's been an experience, I will say. For the first time setting foot on the continent, I want to say that it's not what people expect in this Bantu awakening. I know my sister came once before, but nothing she could have told me could have prepared me for the impact of what I've seen. It's definitely a place where our people are suffering as Bantus. We can see that just like in the diaspora, where we are in America and all across the world, many people are not aware of the truth. They are very much kept in the dark of many different things about what's going on. Just in our ride up to Beulah, which was a very, very hard road adventurous trip. If you like living in air conditioning and amenities, I'll say that, forget it. Where we went, there's very few amenities that you will see. It's like going back 500 years basically in time when it comes to how you have to prepare to live. The people here, I would say if you're coming to Angola especially, become familiar with the language. If you're not familiar with the language, they will be able to manipulate the things that you do. Always, I would say, make sure you come, have a plan with whoever you're coming, because sadly, there's a lot of poverty in this place. It's kind of like, it's like a third world country. You have the ruling upper wealthy class, and then you have a lot of people at the bottom. And so it's an excursion. I mean, thanks to the Tanzania and Boom with the Lendo, we learned quite a bit about certain things. We were able to encounter an elder that was very, very, very old, more than 100 some years. And when he started breaking down the history of us, it became evident how they were able to manipulate and change things. Just yesterday, I looked on Twitter and there was a comment from the former French president, and he validated what this elder said. For over 400 years, they had pillaged, stolen, and stripped Africa of its resources for their benefit, and then taught them an education so they could not retaliate against them, so that they would not understand what was going on. And that's evident in the way they keep things from furthering, especially for Bantu people. In America, you could tell that whole system was designed for erasing the identity. Here, they actually have an idea who they are, but they don't practice it. They don't identify with it. They identify mostly with the Christian mindset. On our way back in a very packed vehicle.
Yes. One thing that I enjoyed that the elder said that was really informative was He was explaining what the traditions, the practices of his forefathers was and how they could see me, brother, and how they would translate in the spirit, being spirit, and all these spiritual practices that we once had. But what he said was, when the colonizers came, is as if they took all that power away from them. It's like they gave their power to the colonizers, and the elders stopped teaching. Whatever they did that was against the teaching and doctrine of the colonizers was demonized for, through colonization. And he was very informative. He told us about the war down here. I was surprised myself with the war in Angola and how this story is not related in history. So many war, people running up and down, fleeing to the mountains. The way we went to Beulah was through the mountains. No normal car can make it here. You need a strong car, a strong driver to make it up here. It's like going uphill slowly. Anything you have to say?
Well, I will say this is that, if you decide to make this trip, you must be mentally and physically ready. There is no excuse the noise.
Sorry about that.
You must be physically, mentally ready. It's not for the weak at heart at all. The people, there people can be friendly. I'm not going to say they aren't, but you also have to be aware of your surroundings a lot. Vigilant. Sadly, when the elder spoke about what he was talking, one of the things he was made it very clear is that before we worship Tanzania and Pungu Tulendo before slavery.
Yes.
He said that. He said that we did not worship Jesus, we did not worship Deus, we did not worship God, we worshiped Tanzania and Pungu Tulendo. And they saw the, like you said, Brother Wade, he said they saw the power in us be taken. And then he also said they took it in such a way that in order to get it back, we have to actually seek the Most High and those that know and see. Like he even said as an elder, when we asked him, how come nobody else is aware of what you're saying? He says, I only give it to those who ask me. The people there, they were just going along doing the things that they knew, and they didn't bother to even go and seek his counsel. And so that's part of our problem that they did with the colonizers, as you can see, as they continued to get rid of the knowledge of the elders that were there, because they were trying to kill them off and they were trying to keep it from being taught. We just stayed in that mindset. Like I said, in our debate that we had coming back, there was two factions that were battling with words about the belief about what's going on. And there's a heavy colonization mindset. Even though colonization is over, you can see just from the way, I'm going to say just like this, I'm going to say flat out, religion is a thief. Religion is a thief, okay? Religion is a major thief, because when you see how these people are living, even though you saw assemblies of other beliefs that were there, it was like the same. It's like they had really not made much of an impact in certain ways. And we've seen how like the Chinese and those have played a role in this country, and it's horrible. It's horrible for the people, because you can literally see the intelligence, the ability of people in this country and others here in Africa, but that's not utilized. It's not utilized at all. And for those who do come up to a higher level, they remain separated. They really don't, it doesn't look like they help. And it's like, it's sad to see that. One thing that I know when I'm gonna do a video later, hopefully when I have the better internet, but we need to help each other on both sides. We need to stop this United States, Africa, whatever diaspora in the continent stuff, because we're all suffering in the worst way. And here especially, they're really suffering in the worst way. Because, and I remember one of the things that the villagers, people in the village said is that people needed to love one another better. They needed more love. And I can see that even in America and other places where we have to have love for one another. We need to have a big heart. We need to we need to know that it's not about any one of us individually. You know, too many people are focused on their own selves and not focused on others. And that's evident here, especially with the way things are happening. It's like, you know, like you talked about the war. I mean, the war was horrible. It was the things that have played out because of that, the bureaucracy. It's crazy. And so even now, we have to break free of these chains that continue to hold. I mean, even after 400 years of the Most High waking us up, we have so much work. You don't have time to be messing around anymore. We have a lot of work. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. You know.
Did you see also the children?
Yes.
The children.
Oh yeah. The children.
Clothing.
We want to talk about that. The children, they're amazing. You know, you can see them like they were driving by, waving at us.
Yeah.
You can see how they're living, but yet they still had smiles on their faces. They still were excited. They laughed a lot. The village was full of life, but at the same time, they were living in, you know, and then we saw this so many children eating out of garbage cans. So many. You know, we went to the island where they took us out, you know, from slavery, and just the people, you know, you can see the kids running around. It's like they literally tell the kids, you're gonna take care of yourself, because they can't take care of them. There's no resources, so the kids take care of themselves on the streets, you know. And so this is something that we need to understand, is that just because you see stuff on television or you see stuff on YouTube or whatever, it's a whole other story when you put boots on the ground, when you step into something and you see what's going on, because it opens up your eyes to a whole nother level. And when I told Massa about this, I now understand why the Most High brought me here. It's because there was things that he really needed me to comprehend and understand. Okay, what it means to be suffering, what it means to be hated, what it means to be on the bottom, what it means to be lost, right? You know, and that's something that as a people, we are very lost. And here, see, in America, it's very subtle. Here, it's obvious. They let you know. Yeah, even in the museums that we went to, they brag about it. We even idolize those who put us into this situation, and it's very horrible. It's sad because we don't recognize our value. We always recognize the value of the colonizers or of others. So go ahead, Brother Wade.
Yeah, we went to the museums, the slave museums. We saw some, obviously, Christianity, you know, the cross and the ships that they came in, and the shackles that they had on people. Not only, what interests me the most, what surprised me, was that it wasn't as if the colonizers were always on top of us. They had little agents here and there. Some of our people was corrupted, and they put here and there to rule and control and keep us aligned. It was very, how can I say, it was very hard. It made my heart very heavy to see the history, what they did. They have their own museum where they keep their tanks, all the weapons of mass destruction that they used to enslave, colonize, and killed many of us. And in this museum, you'll see white angels, but all the biblical animals, land on the wall, the murals are says this land. And what they have the old map of Africa, where in the center it's
Ethiopia Occidental,
yes.
they called it.
What shows you the land of Ethiopia beyond the rivers of Ethiopia is where my suppliants will remain. But on the land, the elders know, they know who they are. They know that this is the land of the story, the history, what's the prophecy and what's to come. But they don't pass it on to the younger generations. Even the practices, the ancient practices, some of the elders don't know as well because it wasn't passed down to them. So it's very important that you start with the youth, that you educate them young, so that you can also live through them, give them gems of stones and wisdom and knowledge, etc. But yeah, the trip was very heartwarming. The children keep in Beulah in the north. They keep the practices. The little girls don't like pants and all, etc. They don't steal. They're peaceful and harmony. Uh, Everything you'll see that is biblically back in the ancient days. We've seen the biblical trees. Not too many animals. You know, they killed all the animals, ridded them. Animals went more north. But the life in the village in the north, the area where Simon Toko came out, and the promised land of Isaiah 48, I believe so, yes, Isaiah, and land of Beulah, very peaceful, high mountainous land. Not anybody can go there, no. So it's a very hard journey, yes. Packed like sardines, you need special cars to get up there, and it's uphill the whole way there. You're above the skies.
And I will say patience is needed because don't think, I mean, we you got to check anything attitude wise or American or wherever country you come from at the door, because here they don't care. They will make your life miserable in a second because in their mind it's all about they know. Okay, you're at their mercy, and they can. I mean, that's why it was good to have Yaya with us because they play a lot of games, and they will play games. And you know, you have to understand that you know it's not like what you've ever known. I mean, yeah, I see that everything's changing in the world around us. We see that, but I mean, here you're living it. You're living it. I mean, we literally got some of us didn't have our masks on all the way. This guy pulls us over. He said, "Oh, you guys didn't have your mask on," and then he said, "Yeah, give me some, give me some money. You don't want, It was like that, and it's a system that we hope to help fix for our people. The Most High will show us more and more the methods that we need to help rectify many of the things that were done. Because like I said, it was a complete, you can tell just from here on this side, the system of taking us away was even systematic. Boom, boom, boom. They had it all set up and they had it like a factory taking us out of here. And then of course the receiving ends were also similar. But like I said, they refuse to change unless somebody brings in some real truth. That's just how it is. So,
anything you want to say?
Yeah, this is I think it's very important for the community to know that it's not only about coming to Africa and saying, "Yeah, I come to Africa and everything will be fixed by itself and everything will be fine." You need good people surround you. You need connection. connections so that you can make it, so that you can establish a job, having a job and doing certain things, because it's like you're going to a third world country, and you have to put a foundation first, and I think this is very, very important. And it was also very important for the people from the diaspora to coming over to see that Africa is completely different, because they are always like, oh, this is different, this is different. I mean, me as a diasporan, I see the same things in the same way, that it needs a lot of development. But what I know is, if we don't do it, no one will do it. And it's about our future children and our future, our fathers and grandfathers. Normally they're not supposed to die in the country of the West. And I think it's the time for the younger generations to establish a foundation in the countries where they used to come from. And it needs every beginning, every start isn't easy, but at last you will see. You have to plant, and then you can reap, and this is very, very important, because we have a lot of cultural truth, hidden truth, that must be revealed. And I know that it won't be revealed to us in the West. It's here. It's hidden here. And the people must learn all these Asian practices. They have to know what is good and what is bad. And as long people are here fighting for us, I know that some people really wants to change situations for us. They will make it. At least people will come over and will start living here too. But the fight is real. Because you can see we are living in apocalyptic times. In these apocalyptic times that we are into, one thing that is sure, this 2021 will not end until we will see in the winter time that horrible things will happen in the West. Everything that was prophesied about people coming from far, going into the Beulah land, putting a foundation, is done by this gentleman here. They made it. The elders prophesied and said, we saw this coming, and the time has come. The 2021 prophecy that many people copied when this Mwanda was talking is true, So, which means that from now the things will getting even worse, and which means, especially the people, I used to say always, the people from the islands, Curacao, Barbados, whatever, very proud people that thinks, oh, nothing will happen, Haiti, okay, the water is coming to take you. This is how I speak, okay. The Most High gave us Bible verses in the streets about, they used to call it Jesus is coming. We can call it Jesus apocalypse. Jesus is coming to take you. Psalms 110. No mercy. Okay? He will even come to your cities to come to take you. And that's why they saw by themselves where the Tanzania will prepare us to flee what the Tanzania is trying to do. Sometimes people think it's just, a joke.
Blah,
blah. Yeah.
No joke.
Who is that guy? Crispy black nigga.
and when he says that they don't care, they do not care at all.
Even the elders said very clear that this is the land where they said, when we came here, we know that some people lived here before.
Right. Yeah.
And he didn't talk so much about the practices, but he showed us also 2 or 3 things that that there's a secret for us here, how to do certain things. And what we have learned is that we always had a relationship with our ancestors. And through Christianity,
they destroyed it.
They destroyed it in a way.
Destroyed it. I mean, all those people were sitting in their churches on Sunday in the diaspora thinking that they're having a good old time with the Most High. This is what we're seeing here is evident that there's a deception, big time.
Not only did they destroy it, they also inherited.
Yeah.
They went and did the same thing with their ancestors. They call on Saint Matthew, Saint Peter, Saint Paul. They keep their cemeteries clean. They took it from us and told us it was witchcraft, and they did the same thing.
Just to give a prime example, we were coming back and we saw a whole group of people on the road, and the guy was on a truck and he had the cross sitting on top of the truck, and they were sitting there dancing and singing behind it, you know, as a church. And you can see that they, you know, of course, they're Christian Bantu people. And that's, you know, the mindset is we worship, we worship, but we know not what, because salvation comes through the Bantu. And they, you know, when I first got here, I was having a conversation with a brother. My Portuguese isn't really good, but he was, you know, he had some English skills he was understanding. And there were some things that he knew, but as I started to reveal certain things, you could see him just like, wow, you know. And then, of course, for those that we were talking to that they didn't want to hear it, or they thought they knew already, they just kind of like, you know, whatever. So you could tell that it's everywhere. You know, when our brother Jonathan has said we are also asleep on the continent. Yes, I mean, people are very, very, very asleep by a system that is robbing them, and they admit it. They don't hide it. They admit it right now. And it has to be. We have to change the way we think. You know, you gotta quit feeling comfortable with that. Oh yeah, I'm dying, I'm going to heaven, I'm going to be with Jesus and all this. That when I look at what we have seen, there's no way that you can serve a creator that's okay with the things that we saw. There's no way. And
garbage everywhere.
Garbage everywhere. You cannot think that he's gonna be like, oh yeah. You come right on in.
You can see here in this country full of mosquitoes, but no mosquitoes there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, full of mosquitoes. Fortunately, being around in the Caribbean, that's something that I was familiar with. I was kind of anticipating, but yeah, it's if you're not an outdoorsy type, you better get yourself mind right, because it's going to be a trip. And things do go bump in the bush, by the way.
Yeah, in the police. Huh?
Oh God, police.
Good police.
Oh yeah.
Overall, trip was very enjoyable. Learned some things. Got to live out of your comfort zone in your AC, nice car. You get to live the ancient lifestyle of your ancestors. Yes,
you will see people everywhere
in the bushes, in the mountain,
the mountains,
mountain climbing, cooking outside with the fire. You know,
bush meat.
Bush meat. Yeah. You're gonna. It's not gonna be sitting in Tahiti or somewhere kick back.
But the people look like us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing that got me. Going up to Beulah, I sat next to a woman. Her face was identical to my own mother. So those people that want to keep talking about Hamite that, no, we saw people that looked identical to people in the United States.
Yes, yeah.
The same faces, the same looks. Might be variations here and there, but no, we're the same people.
Even how they act over here.
Yeah, the same. They act there. The way they act is the same.
This player guy there. Your player friend there. He act like a pimp in there.
Oh God. Yeah, they got the players. I had an account, we had an encounter. It tripped me out. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, buddy. They.
How was Tabernacle Part 1 when he spoke about the medicine and?
Oh yes, go ahead. I'll let you talk about that.
He showed you some 1 or 2 things and the white Jesus maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the elder, he had a gift of healing. He could directly see A, B, C is wrong with you. This, and that. He practices traditional medicine. It was passed down to him by his mother. But yeah, he has the gift of healing. He can actually really see. But the thing is, the Most High does not take gifts from you. As long as he has the gift, he can work for good and evil. But what was more insightful for me is that even though he still believed in some of the ways of the colonizers, the Most High still allowed him to be an instrument to heal and bring restitution for people, heal sickness, even people that lost their minds. He brings them out, brings them in, and they come out brand new clothes, new person. He healed lots of disease, traditional medicine. He's trying to bring it out to the Western world. But as we know now, the Western world is all pharmacia.
They will never accept
They won't accept this.
He's going to the wrong direction.
Yeah.
This is he thinks also money to do that, but this will never work out. Even if they know it works.
Yes.
This is what he has to learn.
And before anybody claims witchcraft or whatever, there are people of religious backgrounds that see this man. So don't go back, go that route, because this man has, I mean, it's funny because when I was there, I had just seen a specialist for some things that were happening with me. And lo and behold, he diagnosed it. And he didn't even know. And he could tell that I had issues going on inside of my body that I needed to deal with. And so it was like, wow, that the Most High's power does exist still. We just got to learn how to use it more, because they have closed it off. They have cut the connections, but they still make you believe that you have it when it's all pretend and make believe, because you're using a different power.
What was the ocean?
Oh wow, you talk about that.
We called the waters.
Yeah, that was amazing to be able to learn how to, just like it says in the scriptures, specifically manipulating the elements. You can do that. When you have spirituality, you can do that. And I know I put out a video on Facebook. There was even in the Bantu community where we showed the guy who was talking to the water. We experienced that. I mean, it's the scriptures are they are alive. You just have to realize that many people have been made dead by worshiping a dead version.
They have to know how to stop the waters if it comes.
Yeah, the water comes party.
Yeah.
To show him the direction to go. So you have to show him the direction.
Yeah.
And then he will follow.
It's like that one dream I had when the floods were coming, and then I thought to myself, make the water move out the way.
Exactly.
And it happened.
Just send them to your enemy's house.
Yeah. Like Massa party the water. It told him to go that way.
Go that way. Yeah, nice. How was the food?
Food is good. I don't know, like I think there's another lady who did a video who said they don't know what we're eating. The food here is very fresh. It's very, I mean, it's some of the meat you feel like they just killed it and brought it in.
Chicken,
it's nothing processed about it. Fresh fruits and vegetables on a regular basis on the streets. That's one of the hang-ups of the people who live in the north. They need to be more systematic about their natural foods, growing things and helping their, and that's one of the things that we're hoping to help them understand is they do it here in the South very well, but the system is it still benefits not the right people, you know. And sadly, that's part of the issue, is that the food is wonderful. It's great. There's people that have it everywhere. We need to channel it to favor us and not others. That's the issue.
A lot of land.
Yeah, a lot of land.
Yeah,
Not being taken advantage
people
of.
here, more in certain villages, they farm to feed their families. But when they can come together and farm to feed the whole village, the whole nation, yeah, needs more developing in agriculture. And the type of trees, like the forest is just full of forest trees, no fruits, no vegetables. Yeah, they need to plant some orange trees. Yeah, a lot of wasteland. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Luvuvamu, Yala.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, learn. It's becoming here, Portuguese and Kikongo. Yes, sir.
Good. You see, even Bantu sisters say that's fact, because she's in Africa too. We have a lot of work to do on the continent to help our people, especially the young. Yes, the young are lost.
The young need work. They want to work. There's no job.
There's no
Go to
jobs.
school, graduate, university, and then to not have any work. It's terrible.
No jobs.
They need work. They want to work.
Religion is still slavery.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Okay, yeah, got you guys. We're leaving you. Sambulolo.
Zola Queen.
Move on.
How was the Bantu resort?
Bantu resort, that was nice.
The Bantu resort. But the animals.
Oh,
My goodness.
Yeah. The working treatment of animals is.
Hey, this was you see, everyone is sick here. We just came from our trip. Everyone is sick here, tired.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we will rest, okay?
Sambulo.
And here, but the trip itself to the Beulah, is it good for elder people or
the trip to Beulah for elderly people is going to be a lot. We have people that made it with us. Older people go and come, but they're from there, so they're used to it. So if it's not something you're used to, you gotta get your mind right. Just telling you, be prepared. It's gonna be something that you've never experienced ever.
You see, everyone is sick and tired. Even people started to, cry.
It's crazy.
You're gonna reach in your mind. You're gonna reach a breaking point where you gotta be like, okay, you gotta zone out and focus on certain things.
You're going to another world.
Yeah, because
and then inside the forest, the villages.
Yeah.
On the mountains.
Yeah.
You told you're on the mountain already, and then
more mountains.
Mountains. Yeah. All right. Found that out.
Great.
All right.
Ingeta.
Ingeta.